Air pollution has been a major preoccupation in Europe for decades. The European Union attacked the problem by establishing minimum air quality norms, and significant progress has been made. The impact of the main atmospheric pollutants has been globally reduced, and phenomena such as acid rain and ozone peaks have come down considerably. However, the environment and health of Europeans is still adversely affected by air pollution.
Our analysis shows that in the year 2020, air pollution and ground level ozone will still cause about 300,000 premature deaths in Europe.
Air pollution can take very different forms from one geographic zone to the other. Acidification problems are more prevalent in the north of Europe, while phenomena linked to the ozone are more critical in the south. The eutrophication of fresh water and the forest floor, due to emissions of ammonia and nitrous oxides, is however a general tendency, as is the presence of particles in the air. The latter affect human health and constitute a major problem in the densely populated cities and regions of Europe. Based on these observations, the European Commission has developed a new strategy, whose objective is to further reduce the negative impact of air pollution on health and the environment between now and 2020. The fight against atmospheric particles, whose harmful effects are well known today, is at the core of this new strategy. The town of Dunkirk is located in the Nord-Pas-de-Calais, France's fourth largest economic region. Here, intense traffic and industrial activity expose the region's 210,000 inhabitants to a high degree of pollution. The number of polluted sites represents more than 13% of all the sites that have been measured in France. Dust, soots and exhaust gases from clouds of toxic particles which spread into the atmosphere. Because air pollution knows no frontiers, since 2003, the Nord-Pas-de-Calais region has been cooperating with the southeast of the United Kingdom in a research program supported by the European Commission. The subject, fine particles, which are the most dangerous for our health.
Grâce au concours des industriels et grâce au concours des différentes instances au niveau européen et national, et selon la réglementation, on a réussi à réduire les grosses particules. Or, ces grosses particules n'engendrent pas trop de difficultés du point de vue de santé. Par contre, les fines particules, de par leur taille et leur composition, sont susceptibles de pénétrer notre appareil respiratoire jusqu'aux alvéoles, où les échanges avec le système sanguin peut être plus facile et par conséquent la répartition dans l'organisme est beaucoup plus facile.
To identify the particles, they're first collected in dust filters, placed at strategic points along the main roads for exhaust fumes from vehicles, especially diesel engines, and along the coast, where there's a concentration of industrial sites and port zones, engendering heavy maritime traffic. Fine particles are less than 2.5 millionth of a meter in size. Some are directly emitted into the atmosphere, like microsoots, produced by combustion in various different industrial processes. Other particles form in the atmosphere by physical or chemical reaction between gaseous pollutants, and are composed of sulfates, heavy metals, or hydrocarbons. Laurent Schlimpf, a research scientist, is also a top-level sportsman. For some time now, he's been participating very physically in a series of tests carried out by Dr. Tönning. During the short and intense period of hyperventilation on the running machine, the toxins stored in the lungs of the runner are absorbed as he breathes out into a particle filter placed in the mask. By evaluating in the laboratory the quantity and composition of the toxic particles in the lungs, a correlation can be established in due proportion with the level of intoxication of the population of Dunkirk. The experiment has already confirmed certain fears on the health front.
Sur le plan respiratoire, on a une très grande augmentation des pathologies respiratoires asthmatiformes, donc d'irritation bronchique, depuis, ça fait maintenant 30 ans que je fais de l'anesthésie, donc depuis grosso modo une vingtaine d'années. Avec un deuxième facteur, c'est qu'on a une augmentation également du nombre de sujets allergiques, voire polyallergiques.
These respiratory problems affect the entire population. But children, because of their metabolism, their small size and their numerous outdoor activities, are particularly vulnerable. Research also aims to trace the path of the particles as far as cell level. On this picture we can see the layers of pollutants on the trachea. Here we see the same pollutants fixed deep into the lungs, as far as the extremity of the bronchioles. Finally, we can see that the finest particles, less than 1/1,000,000th of a meter, can enter into cells and pass through the barrier of the pulmonary alveolar.
Il est évident que c'est grave dès lors où on change, disons, le mode normal des cellules pulmonaires. Toute agression de l'appareil respiratoire par des agents chimiques corrosifs, des agents chimiques oxydants, est susceptible d'endommager notre appareil respiratoire de même que les cellules. À partir de là, il peut y avoir un développement des pathologies et dans certains cas, on cite des pathologies cancéreuses.
In the same way, inhaling pollutants can directly affect the cardiovascular system and cause death in certain cases of chronic exposure or in sensitive people. Today in Europe, there's a statistical drop in life expectancy of around 9 months because of fine particles. This is one of the alarming conclusions to which experts have come in all the countries which have been working since 2001 within the European Commission's Clean Air for Europe programme. A programme which has allowed researchers to amass greater knowledge of the phenomena of atmospheric pollution, and which constitutes the scientific basis on which the new European strategy has been established.
Now it comes with much more solid scientific basis, with better identified sources of pollution, with much better understanding how this pollution is dispersing, transported over the Europe in the atmosphere. So I expect that also the policies which will be created following the general strategy will be more precise and more effective in cutting the pollution, and that they will involve indeed all citizens in reducing the pollution.
The new European strategy represents a framework of action which will benefit every European citizen. The proposed plan fixes a series of precise objectives in the area of health and environment aimed at an improvement of the situation in 2020 compared to the year 2000. Among these objectives, a reduction of 50% in the drop in life expectancy due to exposure to particles, a drop of 10% in the number of cases of death from exposure to ozone, an accrued reduction in deposits of acid rain and substances that cause the eutrophication of forests and lakes, and generally reinforced protection of European ecosystems and biodiversity.
The benefits from this strategy to fight air pollution to human health will be considerable. It's going to be at least 4 times higher than the costs. And this without counting the benefits to the environment.